Have you ever felt like you are just a passenger in your own life? You wake up and go to work and follow the rules, but you feel like the big decisions are being made by someone else or by the world around you. We often look at people who are very successful and think they must be incredibly smart or that they simply work harder than everyone else. We have been taught since we were children that if we just get good grades and put in the hours, we will eventually reach our goals. But if you look closely, you might notice something strange. There are many brilliant people who never get anywhere and many hard workers who feel completely stuck. It is as if they have a powerful engine but no steering wheel. This brings us to a very important idea called agency. Agency is the feeling that you are the one in control. It is the belief that you can actually change your situation through your own actions. In a world where machines are getting smarter every day, being smart is no longer enough. We are starting to outsource our intelligence to computers and our physical labor to robots. In this new world, the most valuable thing you can own is your ability to act and make things happen. This is a shift from what we have always believed about success. On the surface, most of us think that we are born with a certain set of skills. We think some people are just naturally brave while others are shy. We look at traits like curiosity or optimism as if they are height or eye color. If you are not born with them, you think you are out of luck. But this is a very limiting way to see yourself. When we see a person who is very outgoing, we assume they were always that way. We do not see the years of practice or the small choices they made to step out of their comfort zone. This surface-level view makes us feel like we are trapped in a box made of our own personality. We tell ourselves that we cannot do certain things because it is just not who we are. Beneath this surface lies a very deep hidden assumption. We assume that the world is fixed and that we must fit into it. We believe that there is a correct path and that we just need to find it. This assumption leads us to play it safe. We only apply for jobs we know we can get. We only talk to people who we think will like us. We are terrified of looking stupid or being rejected. We act as if rejection is a sign that we have failed as a person. But what if the opposite is true? What if seeking out rejection is actually a way to find your power? We spend so much energy trying to be reasonable. We try to make sense to other people. But being reasonable often means staying exactly where you are. If you only aim for things you are sure to get, you are doing yourself a great disservice. You are living a smaller life than you have to. There is a structural pattern to how people with high agency live their lives. They do not wait for permission. They treat everything in life as something that can be learned. If they feel they are not brave enough, they treat bravery like a math problem or a new language. They study it and practice it until it becomes a part of them. This pattern involves a high level of discomfort. It means intentionally putting yourself in situations where you might be told no. It is like a game where the goal is not to win every time but to see how many doors you can actually push on. Sometimes you have to be a little bit delusional. You have to ask for things that feel unreasonable. You might ask to run a company instead of just working for it. Most people will say no, but the few who say yes will change your entire life. This pattern of behavior creates a kind of freedom that most people never experience. It breaks the cycle of waiting for the world to give you what you want. We need to reframe our perspective on failure and feedback. We usually think of feedback as something that hurts our feelings. We avoid knowing what other people think of us because we are afraid of the truth. But this is like trying to drive a car with your eyes closed. Everyone around you can see what is holding you back, but you are blind to it. We must reframe feedback as a map. If you can find a way to let people tell you the truth anonymously, it can be a wonderful experience. It is like finding a secret door that was hidden in plain sight. Once you know what is blocking your path, you can finally move forward. Instead of hiding from your flaws, you should be curious about them. You should want to know exactly what is standing between you and your goals. This reframing turns a scary experience into an exciting one. It turns you into a student of your own life. Applying this to your daily life starts with a change in how you talk to yourself. The next time you think you cannot do something, try to ask how you could learn to do it. Treat your personality as a work in progress rather than a finished statue. You can also start a practice of courting rejection. Try to ask for one small thing every day that you think will be rejected. Ask for a discount at a coffee shop or ask a stranger for a bit of advice. The goal is to get used to the word no. When you realize that the word no does not kill you, you become much more powerful. You start to realize that the limits you thought were there are actually just in your mind. You can also reach out to people you trust and ask for one piece of honest feedback about what you could do better. It might feel uncomfortable for a moment, but the information you get will be worth more than 1,000 compliments. This is how you build agency in small steps. It is a slow process of reclaiming your power from the world and putting it back into your own hands. As we move deeper into this idea, we see that agency is not just about personal success. It is about how we relate to the people around us. When you take responsibility for your own life, you stop blaming others for your problems. You stop waiting for a savior or a lucky break. You realize that your satisfaction and meaning come from the choices you make every single hour. This is a very quiet kind of strength. It does not require you to be the loudest person in the room. It only requires you to be the one who is willing to try. You might find that once you start acting as if everything is learnable, the world starts to look very different. Problems that used to seem like mountains start to look like small hills. You begin to see opportunities where you used to see walls. This is the true freedom that comes from agency. It is the ability to unlock doors that you didn't even know existed. It is a journey that never ends because there is always more to learn and more to try. You are the architect of your own experience. The tools of intelligence and hard work are great, but they are only useful if you have the agency to use them in the right direction. We have to be brave enough to look at our lives and admit that we have more power than we are using. It is easier to stay safe and quiet, but it is much more fulfilling to reach out and grab the wheel. You have to be willing to be wrong and willing to be rejected to find out how far you can actually go. Every time you push yourself to do something scary, you are building that muscle of agency. Eventually you will look back and realize that you are no longer the same person who was waiting for permission. You are the person who is making things happen. If you could take one small step today toward a goal that feels completely unreasonable, what would that action look like, and what is stopping you from doing it right now?